Hello and welcome. Welcome to Nerds with Dice. This is a Full Plates Full Heart event. We are raising money for Feeding America. It's a wonderful charity, and you can donate with the link in chat. Links also for the merch and for YouTube and Discord can be found in chat. We are playing Call of Cthulhu today, a Wild West Call of Cthulhu game. Is this is it's going to be a fun adventure. We're up to some mischief. Things are going bump in the night. People are disappearing. Monsters are here. Scary. My name is Crimson Soul. I have been GMing Call of Cthulhu for a long time now. A whole bunch of games for a long time now. This is my first game that I am GMing on an actual play though. So let's go. I'm really excited. I'm joined here by my two wonderful players. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. And we're going to start with Shinalise.
Hi, my name is Chanel Lees. Lees rhymes with cheese. I use she/they pronouns, and today I will be playing Sally Hayes, who uses she/her pronouns.
And next we move on to Adi.
Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK. I go by Fab, he, him, because he, him is just too boring, and I prefer being Fab first. I will be here playing Kalki Iyengar, who is a author all the way from the mystic orient of India, and she is she/her.
All right, excellent. And with that said, we are going to move into this game. So it is roughly about 8 p.m. This is a happening time of day. This is a happening time of night here in the city of Rickshaw, New Mexico. Rickshaw, New Mexico, the time period we find ourselves in, 1880. This is solidly after after the Civil War. This is after the Civil War. And at this time period, the United States is kind of really trying to focus on its image, it's the way it can control the rest of the continent. And so it's unifying the rest of the territories in the West together, giving them a path to statehood so that everything can be within the banner of the U.S. government. We've seen territory after territory after territory just kind of like fall and go by the wayside, and as the U.S. government sets up its roots. And because of that, the way of life that we're aware of in the Wild West is dying. The civilization is coming from people in a way that they aren't really expecting. People who haven't lived a life of how it is in the East, or who like specifically left that life so that they can live and be independent out here in the West, are all sort of being forced into a mold that doesn't fit them, which leads us to Rickshaw. Rickshaw is a bustling, growing township smack dab in the middle of New Mexico. And while everyone else seems to be capitulating or falling, putting themselves under heel to the U.S. government, Rickshaw is continuing to expand. Things are growing. They show no signs of stopping or kowtowing or anything at all. It's actually impressive the way that they're able to continue to move, basically outmaneuvering the United States government at every step, remaining independent as things move forward. It's a place of business. It's a place that's happening, and it's called the New York of the West. And everyone lives like a king here. There are no unhoused people. It doesn't matter what your job is or where you come from. You have enough money, you have enough food, you have a place to stay. Everybody's having a great time in Rickshaw. Once again, 8 p.m. We find ourselves in a pretty happening place for Rickshaw. This is one of the largest bars, pubs, like social places within the entirety of the township, called Jesse's. And then once you like enter inside this like large building, right, there are several performance halls. Well, there are two performance halls. They're like separated with like a large kind of thick wall to kind of stop the difference between the music from both sides, and a thick curtain so that way wait staff can go in between them. Because this is a place where so many people are moving into, kind of, if you've like ever been to a new town before, you know, like you might not have any friends, it might be hard to meet people, so they host social events here a lot, and this is where our group finds ourselves here. We can allow you all to introduce yourselves and your characters, you know, what you're wearing, how things have been, what you look like. But yeah, well, I'll let you do that first. Go ahead. We'll start. Say you're sitting here at this table having a great time. Shelly's, go ahead.
Well, I'm not so sure if Sally Hayes is actually having that good of a time. She looks a bit uncomfortable in this bustling social situation. Her shoulders are pretty close up to her ears as she nurses a non-alcoholic drink, which is an insane thing to be doing, nursing a non-alcoholic drink. You could just drink it. But she's really taking her time with this beverage. I want to say it's Ribena, but I don't think that's a thing that exists in the United States of America, so it's maybe not that. Juice? I don't know. Um, and she is a very slight woman in her mid to late 20s, around 26. On her sheet, actually, it does say 26. She looks like a stiff wind could blow her over.
Mhm.
She has medium dark brown skin and dark hair that is it's it looks as though had she not styled it the way she had, it would be a lot curlier than it looks now. It's kind of pulled back, twisted along the sides of her head, and then in the back of her hair, she's got like a very curly bun. Her hair is essentially stretched. She sleeps with it in twists, and then she styles it into a bun as she goes about her day. But she's wearing pretty basic, appropriate, decent, respectable garb for somebody in the middle class, a school teacher in the middle class, as she is a school teacher. She just recently got a post at one of the local schoolhouses, and being that she's a school teacher, she feels very much like a fish out of water in this social setting. She knows that the expectation is not really for her to be a part of the nightlife of the town. That's usually the stereotype when it comes to uh school teachers, but she can't help but come down and give it a shot, knowing that there are organized social events where she could connect with the community a lot more easily than just, only associating with people's kids. So she's just kind of like looking around. She's got really big, she's very big and doe-eyed, very pretty, big brown eyes, and she's just kind of looking around sheepishly as she very delicately sips her little drink at one of the tables.
All right.
Aw.
And Adi, let's give you a chance to introduce your character. What are you doing here tonight at this? Say you all are sitting at the same table. There's a like a round like circle table with about like 5 spots, and you all are taking 2 of them.
Okay. Kalki Iyengar is, I think, a slightly different picture of a specimen from Sally Hayes.
Mhm.
She's a big woman. She's like 6'3" and all dusky, broad shoulders. If she did not have her very beautiful kind of like, tight, like, chiffon silk kind of top, and she has a corset on, which is like fully black. The shirt will also be like, the almost black, but it's blue, like, it's
Mhm.
a double weave kind of thing. And similarly, full black skirt. It doesn't flare out. It's almost like a sari, like the bottoms of a sari, like, but it
Mhm.
is a skirt. She has like, one like bit of a silver kind of like headpiece that is just like, that she has on her forehead,
Mhm.
and like dark coal eyes. She's not like, sweep the ball away pretty, but she's big, confident, and like not unpretty, but it's just the sheer force of confidence that just makes her aura seem like she's like about 6'8",
Hmm.
because she's holding court here. Like she has like one leg kind of put up, the other would have like occasionally been like patting Sally on the shoulder, because I think like from the description you've given me, Sally Hayes reminds Kalki Iyengar of one of her favorite tutors, who is like this mouse of a woman, but like who, when push came to shove, like one of the few people who get Kalki to like. So she's already, I think, feeling like resonance there. Yeah, she has a little hat on, and she also has like those big black early sunglasses, which are just kind of put down, and she's just looking over them at over them. Ah, ah, ah. Yes, I agree, that would be entirely too funny.
I'm going to say, so at this moment, while you're all kind of sitting, someone who you talked with and you kind of, you probably like came to the door with, so you got to know them a little bit, Sally, just kind of like looks at you and says, "Hey, excuse, I have to go to the bath. Can you come with me to the bathroom? I just need someone to go with me."
Oh, well, and Sally has been looking in the opposite direction of Kalki in
Hmm.
a very like I think she may have entered this area after Kalki and has sat down at that table because she wants to be in the proximity of Kalki, but doesn't have the bravery to talk to her.
Hmm.
So she's almost too turned away. It's even as Kalki is like delicately brushing against her every once in a while. And so that first little like, oh, it's a little bit too startled, a little bit too eager to have something to do,
Hmm.
but she ultimately agrees and gets up to walk out to follow this person to the washroom.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have already like men. This is a man who's come.
No, no, it's a woman. It's a woman that
Oh,
yeah, you would hop in before. She just is a little like is shy and doesn't want to go to the bathroom by herself. Like because she's like you're all new here. This is a place for new
We do be
people.
going to the bathroom in
Yeah.
herds. We do that.
yeah.
Hmm. And so she gets up and I mean, like she's just wearing like a simple dress. Nothing too that's too stand out about her, but she's just kind of talking about she walks up, she's oh thank you. It's just I've just been so nervous out here. It's like I thought it would be kind of like back home, but it's just so big and like bustling. It's scary. It's almost like the city.
Unfortunately for me, it is a little bit too much like back
Mm-hmm.
home. I'm from the city. I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting something a bit more quiet, but at least I'm somewhat familiar with this cacophony.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, maybe it'll be quieter in the bathroom.
And so like you go into the bathroom and there are two other women there. They've got like a mirror, a couple of women are like freshening themselves up, or just kind of handling things inside the bathroom. And she starts to talk to you a little bit. She goes, "Yeah, because like it's like back at home, and then uh you feel a burning sensation in your mind. Uh Screams, agony, pain, fear like something you've never felt before. There's a danger that sits deep inside of your body, like you've never felt, like your heart is about to burst out of your chest. You feel as if there's something desperately that you should remember, something that you need to remember, something achingly important for you to remember, but like grains of sand it falls in your hands. You are outside the bathroom and there is a single tear running down your face.
Uh, excuse me. Sorry. I think I need to step outside.
Mhm.
Maybe this is all a bit more uh, overwhelming than I had thought. Excuse me. And she turns and
Mhm.
she just goes beelines to the outdoors front, the front doors of the establishment.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a commotion on the outside of the bathroom. and people like the music. It was like that moment where like the record scratches in the middle of like something happening in like like a busy place, and everyone's just like, what? And then like everything just kind of moves on from normal. Yeah, and you take this moment. Also, sorry, as that happens, so normally if you lose more than 5 sanity, something fun happens. But because
Ooh.
this is something that we set up ahead of time, go ahead and remove 6 sanity for me as
Oh,
you've
will
experienced
do.
what you've experienced. I want you to run through for me what it feels like to lose 6 points of sanity.
Okay, well, first I have to figure out how to make that happen in
Yeah, you
Roll20.
did it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
did it. Yay!
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say the very important part is in experiencing that the something desperately that you feel to remember, the fear inside of your body as your heart beats out of your chest. You
Mhm.
remove 6 points of sanity. So tell me
Right.
how that feels for you now that you are trying to reconcile what you experienced.
I think the predominant feeling is shame or guilt. She's not exactly sure which one it is, but she feels like she should have remembered something and she didn't, and that's her fault. And she can't put her finger on it. It's like you said, like grains of sand, like she's trying to hold sand in her hands and she's desperately clawing for it in the air within her mind, within her chest, but she can't hold it. She can't hold on to it, but she should be able to. And that feeling on top of that, acknowledging the how ridiculous it is to try to hold on to sand. She knows that that's
Mhm.
a ridiculous thing to try to do, to expect of herself, but she can't help but feel that if she doesn't try and doesn't succeed, if she doesn't remember, something terrible is gonna happen and it's her fault. And so as she's leaving this establishment, she's confused. The cacophony around her, it's too loud, it's people are bumping into her, there's too many people, there's too many smells, and she can't decide whether it is her body that is causing the emotions or her emotions that are causing these reactions in her body with her heart racing. She doesn't know if she's sick or if she's upset. She just needs to leave. She just wants to be out in the cooler air. And she tries her best to inhale through her nose, exhale through her mouth, and try not to seem as upset as she is because she came here hoping to make friends, and everybody else seems to be completely unbothered by something that has gripped her harder than she's ever been shaken before. There's just too much happening outside of her and within her. There's just too much.
Mhm. I'm going to how long do you think you might be outside before you make your way back in?
I think I think she stays outside for a long enough amount of time that if she was with a group, someone would come out to see if she was okay. And
That
Mhm.
she is now fighting back tears because she's trying to keep herself from just giving up and going home.
that would have definitely happened, I think, because Kalki would have, because it was a woman that went with Sally. That wouldn't have been like, that wouldn't have raised her this thing. But especially after some time, if like she has seen like that person re-enter and there's no sign of Miss Hayes, then she would definitely
Oh,
like
she walked through and she was marching with a purpose. She wasn't like she was clearly eyes on the door, leaving, trying to escape something, trying to seem calm, but walking too fast to be calm. So I think Kalki definitely would have
Mhm.
clocked that something was not
then
right with
then
Sally.
it wouldn't even have been outside alone for too long. Like I think Kalki would have popped her head out and then seen Sally Hayes just standing there, clearly going through something. Given that I have a 61 in psychoanalysis, which is what you said, it would help people deal with these kind of things better. I know that there's possibly some level of overstimulation already happening from what I've observed. uh, I don't know, could I try and do something through psychoanalysis, like, humming that, like, a steady constant tune, like, the actually, you know what, she'll go back, she'll just start, like, go gently with the sound of like steps, obviously, so that's not a sudden surprise sound, but there will be a hum and then a quiet just that steady, like, almost white noise that kind of uh, like helps remove other sounds and like help with that zoning in. And she'd kind of just do that, like slowly humming and doing the um, and wait until Sally Hayes opens her eyes.
I don't think she has to wait very long. I think hearing the steps approaching, she sort of turns her body so that she can kind of like discreetly wipe tears. Or she's not really crying. She's trying not to cry. So she's kind of doing this thing and she's trying to not be doing that. She wants to keep her composure. So she kind of turns away so that she can collect herself before she's spoken to. But in hearing that whoever has walked up behind her hasn't spoken, but is instead now creating this soothing drone. She just kind of like she turns slowly. She doesn't even turn her body. She looks over her shoulder and seeing that it's Kalki, she fully bodily turns and squarely faces her. Um with a look of it's almost childlike, just awe of just like, what are you doing? That's cool. It's just like this little school marm. Uh Everything she knows about the world she's known from a book. And she's just I think maybe even a little tear, not to be too dramatic, does kind of like fall, not from an emotion, but just because she's let her guard down so much that everything she's been holding drops as she just is sucked into this moment with Kalki.
I think perhaps this may be little too early for it, Miss Hayes, but I feel this would be an appropriate time to ask, do you need a hug?
Uh, um, I don't think she can bring herself to really verbally say that she needs one, but I think it's in her
But
posture, just the
Kalki
vulnerability of it.
would have, like, step with hands up and, like, like cock her head to the side and be like, yes, yes, and step
Yeah,
forward and just
and
kind
then
of
I think there's a lean
slowly.
in. As much as we love verbal consent, I don't think there is one, but there's clearly a need that's being expressed there in her body language,
She
and she
she
does
will
accept the
she
hug.
will she will gently, like, kind of this thing. And this is not the first time that a meek school teacher has cried in front of me, but I'm very glad that this time it is not me that caused the cry. But what
It's
happened?
in spite of herself that she chuckles. She didn't like being called a meek school teacher, but the joke she did like, and you can feel she's trembling as Kalki hugs her. Sorry if you could. I didn't hear you said.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, no, no. Uh, what happened? Are you all right? You were leaving with a purpose that was not perhaps intentional but forced.
I don't know what happened. Um, I I I I I walked. We went in the washroom, and I felt. I'm just very upset. She can't explain it. She feels embarrassed to explain the intensity of the emotion. She can't do it.
Now, from what I understand, Sally, the Miss Hayes, I am only a few years older than you, but I have perhaps seen a little more of the world than you have, given my troubles. But beginnings of trust are always difficult, but it is only after trust is established that one can make a connection where they are not burdened by shame in sharing.
Mm-hmm.
But that is always for later. First, let us ensure that you are all right. Perhaps, have you had water in the past hour or so? Perhaps we should get you hydrated.
I yes, thank you.
Would you prefer to go somewhere quieter? I have no great need for socializing. I've already made a few connections with the sops inside. But if you would like to prefer going a little quieter, we could try and find that as well. I'm sure while Jesse's is fantastic, I would definitely not mind going somewhere a little quieter, especially if that would aid you.
Yeah. And that last chuckle, it was half a sob. She's getting what she needs, and that's too much. Someone's being nice to her when she's sad and she's breaking down.
She like Sally will get a soft smile from Kalki, and moving to a side hug and a healthy pat on the shoulder, and come then, let us find a quieter place.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'd walk the main. I'm guessing Jesse's would be on one of the main roads of Rickshaw, so
Mhm.
I guess we'll just kind of stroll. Yeah, I think we'll recognizing that a bit of cheer would be good. Come, I have not done this in many a year, but let us skip along the roads like little schoolgirls, going for some candy, perhaps. I haven't done that in a while.
Okay.
So she will offer her arm, and then the big 6'3" lady will start
Mhm.
slowly
And just to
hopping.
clarify, you all already gotten your things and everything before you left, or is there anything you still have still inside of the of
I I
Jesse's?
wouldn't have brought any of my more questionable or dangerous things to Jesse's. It would have been just me and my wallet. So
Hmm.
Yeah, whatever Sally would have had, she would have taken it with her to the bathroom. She would have probably only left her drink, as crazy as that is to do, but that's not a problem they
Hmm.
had in 1880, hopefully. I
Hey,
don't
you
know.
mm,
had a friend at the table.
hmm
What wonderful.
Hmm.
Personally, still not gonna leave my drink.
yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, all right. And with that, I want to say that you all just kind of like make your way out. Like it's a bustling night. Things are very busy. Things are very busy here. This is a very popular town, so like there's nightlife everywhere. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for as you're walking along the city, or where do you think, I guess, that is the overall destination of where y'all trying to head?
So there's a joke in India, right, that somehow wherever you don't least expect it, you will find a tea stall, like which is run by this quaint little Indian couple who just go, hello, hello, please come,
Mhm.
so can I just go and find that random Indian tea stall that I found on my first day when I came to rickshaw, and I was like, oh, it is
Uh, you know,
instant.
you know what? Yeah, I'll say that there's a that yeah, there's a little tea shop that's still running. It's got a bunch of like the like older people who've immigrated from here or there, different parts of Asia, like to come together and have a just like have a cup of tea while they look at the stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think she would just kind of open the door and then just go immediately, Auntie Maya, I hope you are not too late for some of your wonderful tea.
She goes, oh no, darling, not at all. Here, you take a seat. Sit down. And then just has an extra spot available for you. There's, like I said, there's just a bunch of different people from all walks of life. This is a very multicultural area because there's lots of people from different backgrounds who come in who for different opportunities and jobs and things like that. So you'd find probably more so older people closer in their anywhere from like 40s up until like 70s or something out that way. But you might see like a younger person there too. A lot of the younger people more so heading towards places like Jesse's and then other like more drinky or druggy establishments. But this is just a nice place in town.
Yeah, Kalki
Mhm.
has no need to prove her youth to anybody, given what she's been up to. But
Mhm.
so she will just smile at the older Indian lady, and then will lead the way to a little I think she'd like go to the benches, not like even one of the tables. Like there'd be in a lot of these tea shops, there'd be just like one long bench that you
Mhm.
could just sit down on, like side by side, and just like talk while you wait for the tea. um yeah, I it is very surprising when I found Auntie Maya here. She is from Tamil Nadu, which is one state away from my own, and it is the closest that I have come to a flavor of home. And while I'm not sure that this would agree with your sense of home, I would like to share with you the comfort of mine, and describe, and will describe the most perfect fucking spiced masala chai, like
Mhm.
uh, while fully going into hype about this as the tea is brought out. And yeah, we drink spicy garam masala chai.
Okay. And while you all are doing this, and they come out, and Auntie serves you all the tea, you're just kind of waiting and like relaxing in the atmosphere of it. Towards the was it like towards the like back of this establishment, you hear someone who's kind of like loud and like rowdy, a little raucous in the back. It's as you like turn around and look at him, he's a sorry, the heartburn is killing me. You turn around and you look at him, and he's like a bigger built kind of guy. He looks like he's actually like a very strong guy, and he's got like a healthy layer of like fat on top of like most of his muscles, whatever. He's a white man in a he's wearing a black suit with a red button-up shirt underneath. He's got his hair slicked back. It's brown and it's like starting to gray a little bit. He's smoking out of a pipe, and he's just kind of not even kind of like really paying attention. He has like one or two people with him that he's just regaling of tales of things that sound like they could be impossible, and just like how like great and amazing he is. And he's just like, and I tell you, and this right here, this is the best tea you can get in Rickshaw. So let me tell you a bit more about. So there I was, right in the Sahara. I had a knife in my hand, only a knife, and I was going up against the strongest beast of the entirety of the jungle. It was me and a lion. He's just like, and you see, and that's how I got these scars across my arms. He rolls back his sleeve, and you see scars. You see like a scar across his forearm.
A scar.
A scar, yes. And that's how I got this scar across my forearm here. You see, I was fighting as my knife. I thrust it into the beast's mouth directly, his claws scratching at me, unable to find any kind of purchase. And he's just kind of like loudly bragging about, I know, something that's impossible. And so as he like takes a break from like his like loud, like raucous like behavior and recounting of his hallucination, um, he takes a sip and he drinks his tea and he goes, "This tea is fantastic. I'm telling you, it is the absolute best." He goes, "You miss, yes, you miss." He says as he's talking to the store owner. He goes, "Just how much would it be for me to buy this shop off of you?" Says, this is the greatest tea. I simply must have this shop. And she goes, "Oh, no, sir, no, sir. We, this tea right here, our connection with this tea, this is our history, this is our culture. I couldn't possibly see myself separating from it. However, if you ever are looking for, if you ever are looking for tea, we're here to serve always." Um, and he's just kind of like, but we'll find a price. We'll find a price. He says as he waves her off. Um, and he's continuing to serve tea, and he goes, yes, yes. He's looking around the room, and
at one point he would have definitely seen like Kalki looking over at him and then just like rolling her eyes, like, very visibly, before just turning to Miss Hayes and going, it is somehow it is always amusingly comforting that delusion can sustain people through difficult times. But it's a quiet statement, not like a loud statement. She's not looking to cause trouble unless it comes
he would
looking
have
for her.
absolutely have seen you looking at him and taken it as a sign of interest. And so then he goes, and then while you're at it, he says, as he I'm gonna say like he takes like $20, which is a lot contextually for the time period, but also a lot considering how much tea that is being bought. This is basically covering tea for the night for everyone in here, and then also probably the next night. And it just goes, and while you're at it, why don't you give some more tea for the table there with the two lovely women.
I mean, so this is interesting because Kalki Iyengar, during her studies in the UK, as most princely children sometimes have the opportunity to, has actually met Mary Wollstonecraft and talked about with the earliest suffragettes, and she would I think there would be just like a very calm smile and thank you very much for your kindness, sir, but we are capable of buying our own tea.
He goes, capable is one thing, but when you have as much money as I have, it's meant to be shared around with people. By all means, he says. He waves off the he waves off the store owner he waves off the store owner with the money that he just slid on the table, as she just kind of like doesn't really know how to navigate this scenario. So she takes the money and she just starts serving people tea. And so while he's here and he's talking to you directly, he's just going to be like, so tell me, what are you doing all the way out here in Rickshaw?
Oh, I was merely contemplating and I was merely pursuing rumors of this strange one-clawed lion that I had heard of. Last, he was apparently spotted in the Sub-Saharan Africa, but I have recently heard that he has made his way here as well. What a fearsome beast!
With that, you see that his face grows a little like red. While his face gets redder kind of while he like realizes exactly like what you're implying, and the two people with him start to kind of like chuckle like quietly. And so he's just like, I do like my women with a little bit of I do like my women a little bit feisty, but I fear you might be pushing it.
Well, that is good, because otherwise things might progress from feisty to fisty, which you might not really enjoy, unless you are into that sort of thing, which I've heard has been an interesting trend among Caucasian males of your age.
And so he starts to get up and just like he's like, why you? And so at that moment, there's the server here, Auntie Maya kind of like has backed off and has decided to she has a couple of people who work here with her. There's only one extra one here tonight. It's a man roughly about 25. You'll have to forgive me. Google Drive decided to die on me at this one moment. Roughly about 25. He looks to be Mexican. He has tan skin. He has like short black hair cut so that it kind of just like stands up and about. He's fairly built, and he's wearing an apron with a shirt, with a button-up shirt, with a button-up shirt, essentially like a bluish button-up shirt and a white apron. He comes out with tea, and with a kettle of tea and some cups on it. And as the man gets up, he kind of trips, and as he does, the tea spills all over the man who was getting up to come accost you, the rich man. He gets up and he goes, "Gods damn it, you all can't do anything right. I swear." He gets up as he's about to say, "I will." He's looking at the
I will also, like, get up in that moment, and like, so this is part of the backstory, but Kalki Iyengar is a somewhat distant nobility of the princely state of Travancore in India. So she has been trained in Kalaripaita since she was like 5 years old. So she will kind of stand up in all of her 6'3" frame, and which is fairly fit. You will notice, and she gets into a kind of like, she will immediately stand with one hand behind her back, and the other one like held out with, like, the one knuckle just pointed out, and she's just standing there, like, in that pose, just like casual intimidation / don't fuck with me.
So I'll say that he's like 6'1", so he's burly and like he's big. He's standing slightly shorter than you though, and he's very quickly considering if getting into a knockdown, like drag out brawl in the middle of a tea shop is befitting of someone of his station. And so as he sits there and he glowers and he decides whether or not he's going to get into a fight, he cooler heads prevail, especially as the the two cronies he has with him are just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We have someplace to be anyway. So he just kind of like glowers at you a bit and goes, "Oh, man, at my station doesn't need to solve all of his problems with violence. That's what I said. That's what the money's for." As he like gets his he puts his jacket on, and you see there's a glint of like a white pin on his jacket as he puts it on. He goes and he looks down to Maya and he goes, "And don't worry, I'll be back here to talk about a new deal tomorrow." As he kind of just like walks off from there.
I will immediately turn to Maya and just like walk forward, like, immediately going out of the fighting woman to, like, rubbing back of head, like, knees, like, "Auntie, I am very sorry. I have been told I should control my sass sometimes, but I apologize if I have caused any trouble for you."
She goes, "Oh no, that's all right. People like him, they're around all over. They're always trying to buy up one part or another part of rickshaw, like they own the place entirely. That if it wasn't today, if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else for another day. Don't worry about it." And as you say that, the young man who you helped before, who stood in front of, comes out and he says, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much." He did not seem like he was going to let that go.
Oh, that is quite all right. And this is the little snack of a Mexican man who had entered the picture.
Yes.
She would just kind of give him a slow smile, and it is quite all right. I, you know what? I will control myself in this moment. But she will just kind of like pat him on the.
He's just kind of he's just kind of flustered for a moment, as he's just kind of like, yeah, and then he just like resets. "I'm working." It's like, thank you so much. He says, as he has to go back now and clean up the tea and like remove the cups and everything that fell over after he ran into that guy.
But then she will immediately then just sit back down and just like, I'm sorry, Miss Hayes. We were having a conversation, and I have been bereft of consideration for you. How are you doing?
Um, and she swallows so hard. It's an audible gulp. And her cup is like she was drinking tea before all of this happened, but she was just kind of holding it and like staring wide-eyed the whole time. So she realizes that she has like cold tea now. She puts it down. She goes, "No, it's okay."
I I'm sorry. This was the whole intent of this was to go somewhere calmer, but clearly that is not in the stars for us this night.
It's still it's nice in here. It's you can see she's been looking around like her eyes have been just wide the whole time. It's a store that she's been wanting to enter but didn't feel like she could because it seemed like older people went in there and also it just looked too fancy and now she's basking in the beauty of the interior of this tea shop.
I think it would be less fancy and just more very much more homely. But like
Uh,
there'd be a little like Ganapati statue at like near the
yeah.
entrance, and like a
Anything
little
she can't recognize, she'll think it's fancy.
yeah, fair. The exotic Orient.
Uh, I'm gonna say that this is kind of roughly the way the night goes. If your characters, I'm assuming we can extract it, or you all can continue to talk as the night goes on. But this is essentially the night, the most eventful thing that's happened to you now.
Well, I would have also asked Auntie Maya, would you happen to know the name of that gentleman? He had a particular clip on some part of his clothing, on his jacket, that made me take notice as well. Is he part of some group?
She goes, I mean, not any official group that I know of, but I mean, you know that he's I said the people like him, the rich people of this town. That specifically was Mr. Alistair Smith. He like his grandfather or like his family is a part of an oil family. They struck real big before all this whole business with the United States coming in, and he's just been on top of the company ever since. Plenty of money, likes to throw it around. He's probably bought up about 5 or 6 businesses in rickshaw so far.
Hmm. And what is this gentleman's name?
That's Alistair Smith.
Alistair Smith.
Hmm.
Someone to keep note of, since then perhaps because I have clearly incited his interest.
He goes, I would be very careful. There, it turns out. So he looks around. There's so many like smaller establishments and things out here that you would think would be community owned, and then after a certain time period, it just turns out they were owned by some rich person this whole time. They just decide to stop letting someone else manage it, and then all of a sudden their name goes up on the shop, and it's just mask off that it's been being run by the same cabal of rich people the whole time. It happened about 2 or 3 times with Mr. Smith, where it seemed like it was just a local establishment, and then it came out and it was suddenly Smith's Shoe Repair, or it was Smith Stable Company. He's bought
Hmm.
quite a few of them, and then others of them he just let other people run until he wanted to put his name on it.
Hmm. Fascinating.
And it's always, yeah, it's just always a weird thing that happens. She says she's just kind of gossiping, like she just doesn't really like, it's just the thing, like no one really likes rich people, but especially no one really likes rich people within this context. So she's just as easy to it's just as easy to say something like this for you here. But you
Mm.
do get the feeling that she's holding back. And if you'd like,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you want to roll to try to see if you can get some more information on her, you can. But other than that, everything else, that's just town gossip.
Could one of the points of connection, early connection between Auntie Maya and myself, have been her finding out that I was the author of her favorite smut novel of all time, The Sultry Skies Over Sin? And, Auntie, I know you make tea as well as you spill it, but perhaps there could be something else that would come your way if you are a little more open with me, Auntie. I have been writing the next part of Sultry Skies Over Sin, and perhaps you could give me some feedback on some of my characters.
I'm going to say that this is a charm roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's a success. And so she just kind of uh kind of looks almost excitedly and like looks around and goes, so
There'll be a quick shared, like, he kind of
yeah.
look to Sally's, and they're like, yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead.
It's just that I like, so this isn't the only tea shop that he's been going around, right? It's it's always that he finds an interest in a place and then he ends up getting a place, but he did actually go off on a trip. I don't think he got the scar across his arm on the trip, but he did actually go off on a trip and come back. And I think he's trying to find something that's of a familiar flavor of his travels, which is
Mm.
him coming in and looking for women who come from different parts of Asia, trying to buy tea shops, trying to buy silk and robes and other sorts. Uh, she goes, I keep an eye out. I don't. He probably will be back here, but at the very least, he might also uh, talk to you again since you caught his eye.
Mm.
But of course, just like you don't want to speak too bad about him. You never really know specifically who's tied in with him. Looks over at the shops next to her. Any one of these can end up being one of his shops the whole time.
A cabal of rich people cooperating in such a manner, cooperating. Maybe this, I don't know, something, a dark shadow has moved over my mind. Corporation. That sounds terrible. I have to
Mm.
incorporate that in some of my books.
She kind of looks excitedly. I can't wait to read it.
Oh, but Auntie, you will get an earlier copy.
She kind of like giggles to herself a little bit too while she hears that. This goes back to making sure that everything is all right. Just make sure that she goes, all right, Sammy, we have to get these tables together. We have to clean up after these guys. Let's get moving. She says. She starts to help in cleaning off the tables and getting all the everything set up.
Then, Sally, if you have finished your tea, we shall also get out of their hair and allow Auntie Maya and Sammy there. And like there'll be like a low, sultry kind of like, you almost like look at that guy. Perhaps we should leave them to their cleanup as well.
Yeah. I just hold on, and she just takes it. She just shotguns it. It's like half a cup of cold chai. It's got like the silt at the bottom when you let it sit for too long. So she like coughs a little bit at the end of it. But it's so good. She doesn't want to waste it just because it got cold. So she downs it and then gets up and yeah, I'm sure. Let's go.
Well, around what time would it be, storyteller, at this point?
I mean, I'd say it's probably like it was about 8 o'clock when you all left Jesse's, so it's probably closer to like 9:30, 10 o'clock by now. You all had some time to sit and drink and everything before things got rowdy.
We
And of course,
there
like
would have been
walking time too.
we would have had those, like, the usual thing. There's a snack that comes with it, is those gingerbread like biscuits,
Mhm.
so that would have been the accompaniment there. And Kalki had dinner before she went to the party, because she always eats properly before drinking, like any good drinker should.
Mhm.
uh, so she is set for dinner. So uh, are you uh, is your appetite replete? I don't know if you have had your dinner yet.
Oh yeah, I had dinner before I went out after around like 6 o'clock. It's probably a lot later than that now, hey?
Well, most certainly.
Mhm.
uh, and it's still bustling even at this time, like the streets of Rickshaw.
I mean, it is, but it's the people who either like don't really have to be up at a particular time period or are ready to deal with the consequences.
Ooh, what day of the week is it?
It is a weekday. We'll say that it's a Wednesday, so you still got like you since we
Ah,
probably have to go to work the next day.
yeah. Yeah, I think she's starting to yawn. You're starting to see like signs of her being outside of her daily routine now. She's a bit past her, or not so much past her bedtime, but she would be at home winding down in her pajamas if she was at home, but she's not.
Hmm.
I, I would imagine that you are rather tired. Would you like me to accompany you to your place of residence? I shall escort you there and
Oh,
leave you for the night. I am very glad that we have met. It is sometimes difficult to find people who you can talk to Shakespeare about in such a town.
mm.
Um, but yes, it was a most illuminating night, Miss Sally Hayes. Uh, as earlier, Kalki Iyengar, but please call me Kalki.
uh, Thank you for this. Was I had a lot of fun too. And yes, I would love if you could walk me. So, oh, it's quite a bit darker than I had anticipated it would be by the time I got home. So I really would appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course, it is what friends do.
And we're gonna kind of like abstract and move through the rest of this here. It's a very regular night from this point onward, and everything is fine as we move into the next day. So, Sally, I want you to tell me about your day. What's it like being a school teacher?
I think Sally is at the schoolhouse at, let's say, 7:30. She's there pretty early because she had maybe even 7. She has to oh, what season is it this right now? I know we're in
Say
New
autumn.
Mexico, but what's the weather? Autumn? And is
Yeah,
it chilly or I'm
it's
from
it's
Canada. I don't know what American weather.
it's chillier at night. It's a lot. It's like later in autumn, so like it's still kind of like warm in the day. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's still very like it's yeah, it's warm enough in the day. You wouldn't be wearing a coat or anything. You might just have like a light shawl or a scarf or something if it gets too cold for
Mm.
you at night.
Maybe then, since it's so early in the morning, she does get a little bit of wood in the wood fire going just to make the schoolhouse cozy for the children to enter as they start their day. And she can hear them walking up, or running up rather, as children do, starting to play in the yard as she sets up for the lessons for that day. It's one of those, well, I don't know. I'll ask you. It is a big bustling city. Are you thinking this would be one of those like one room schoolhouses, or would she have a class in a school building?
I'm gonna do you one better. You
Mm.
have um you have two classrooms that you are working
Ah.
within. You've actually probably did it today, decided to combine the two classrooms together. Um, so you are dealing
Okay.
with a lot more kids than normal. A lot more kids than like a teacher normally would. The you talked to, like, you probably came in earlier today, and you're talking to the principal as he's saying, "Oh, Miss Hayes, Miss Hayes, Miss Hayes." So don't forget, you have both. You have your classroom, and you have two classrooms. You have two classrooms. Don't forget. So you have to find a way to work with both sets of these kids.
Mm.
At the same time.
Mm. Yes, I remember you told me about that earlier. I did adjust my lesson plan for today. I would need some help with the blackboard, though. I'm imagining it's one of those classrooms that has it's separated by a blackboard that can be, I don't know if it can be turned, pushed, or like pulled up like a curtain up into the ceiling. Because I know
Mhm.
it's making me think of my dad was telling me his classroom. When he was a kid, it was one of those ones where you can make the two classrooms be one by like making the blackboard go up in the ceiling. So maybe
Mhm.
it's something like that. But she's
Yeah, it was,
little, so she can't reach it.
yeah, well, yeah, this is they've been working with a lot of different ways to work with kids here in the school. He goes, yes, and I'm so sorry. I promise. I'm trying to hire a teacher. It's you'd be surprised. I keep setting things up, and then just something happens, and then we don't have a teacher. So like, I'm finding one for you.
Mm. It's all right. I can make do with
Mhm.
situation as it is. Uh, in the meantime, um, all I need help with would be that blackboard. The darn thing gets stuck every time, and then it gets stuck, like, just a half an inch above
Mhm.
my fingertips, and I can't get it down to push it back up again. Other than that, and I think she probably even arrived later than I said, because I think it being a big building, there's probably, custodians that have kept the fires lit and kept the room clean. She probably is just then talking to the principal about the blackboard and maybe a couple children whose behavior is a little bit more takes more effort to manage in the classroom, and it's, setting out books and that kind of thing, getting things ready for the students before they arrive in the morning for the first classes.
All right. He goes, yeah, no, absolutely. We'll find someone to help you with that. And like this part of your day is distracted. There's you. Someone comes in and they help you out to get the blackboard and everything set up and get everything moved the way you need it to be moved.
Mhm.
And your day starts. Everything runs fine. It's or actually, hang on. Let me see. Let me give you a little bit of an opportunity here to see how your day goes. I want
Ooh.
you. I feel like willpower is the most accurate thing for you to roll to deal with
Mm.
having to work with this many kids all day. So roll
Mhm.
willpower for me.
Whoa.
How do I do
Which is
that?
power. Power is one of the top
Power.
skills. So yeah, click power.
Oop.
Ooh.
All right.
That's a failure.
That's a failure. So you needed to roll a 60 and you rolled a 76. So
Oh, yeah, because it's roll over. I was like, "Well, that's more." No,
yeah.
it's
Uh
roll under.
You this system does not support overachievers.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm too
hmm.
D&D for this. I can't.
So I want you to describe for me actually how your day went, so that this pulled out your last straw. You're working with twice the amount of students that most teachers would work with, probably twice the amount of students that some of the teachers in your school are working with. How does your
Mm.
school day go?
These 2 classes they're about the same grade, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe those couple of students that, Sally or Miss Hayes rather, um, was discussing with the principal had been separated into the 2 separate classes intentionally because they are less chaotic when they're apart from each other.
hmm
And so in combining the 2 classes, she was not only overwhelmed with a an inhumane teacher student ratio, um, but those 2 hellions were combined into the power twins of chaos yet again.
Mhm.
And they knew that this was going to happen. They were anticipating that the classes were going to be merged together. It had been announced. And so they planned a prank of some sort to celebrate their reunion.
Mhm.
And also got some otherwise better behaved children to get in on the prank as well. So it wasn't anything particularly serious, but I think it was one of those things where every time she turned her back, something was happening, and then she would turn and try to address it, but then they would stop doing it, and they would just be giggling. And then
Little
behind her,
shits.
something else is happening, and she'll turn and no, but it's stopped again, and she can't get her finger on what they're doing until, I'm going to say they've strung thread or, some kind of thin thread all around, like they've coordinated every student to help them pass a spool of thread all the way around all the desks and chairs, kind of like slowly fencing her in as she because she has a habit, a muscle memory habit that they're accustomed to. As she's teaching, she kind of paces in a particular shape, and so they've kind of boxed her in without her realizing it, and then cross into her path very slowly until she just doesn't understand what she's caught on, and she doesn't fully fall over, but it's frustrating, it's embarrassing, and it's an annoying thing to clean up because she doesn't want to leave it for the custodians. There's thread everywhere. Essentially, it's something that some of my students tried to do and failed because they used bright green yarn. Stop. They did a better job.
And so I'm gonna
Oh.
say, while you've got this going on, this happens over the course of your day, and there's a little point later on during the day where you hear like there's a couple of kids in the background who are just screaming like they're afraid.
What's going on? What's going on back there?
And so then one of the kids goes, Mrs. Hayes, Mrs. Hayes, Mrs. Hayes, is it true about the man in the red robe?
What's the man in the red robe?
Well, Tommy was saying that there's a man in like a red robe with a face that's like white like the moon, and if you see him walking through the streets and he finds you, he grabs you with his sharp hands, and then they never see you again.
Tommy, why would you tell your classmates such a tale?
Because it's true.
Who told you that?
No one had to tell me. I heard it. They were talking about it. The adult, they told me to stay at home because there was a man outside and he wears all red and he grabs you, and then your mommy and daddy never see you again, and then he takes you to the desert, but the moon is all green and nasty and sick, and then you never see your parents again.
Who told you to stay inside?
They said that you're not supposed to stay inside at night, or otherwise the men in the red robes get you.
Tommy, who is they? Spit it out.
The lady that my parents put me with sometimes. She says all sorts of like stories about mean people outside who grab you and then you never get seen again. And they're just babies.
Huh?
They're just babies. They're just afraid. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of monsters outside because I can beat up anybody. And he says that, and he like literally cocks up a punch and punches the boy to his right.
Tommy! Principal's office now!
Wow.
And she starts like checking to see if this other student is seriously injured or not.
And he's very bruised. He's just holding his arm and he's trying really hard not to cry. And Tommy's walking out like, "See, I'm not afraid," as he like walks out.
Never mind, Tommy. I will have to speak to his parents again.
I think the period appropriate term would be rapscallions.
Rapscallion, yes.
And so that's going to be where we leave out your day, so you've been adequately stressed. Kalki, what's going on with yours? How's your day been? What have you been up to today?
Kalki is a bit of a night owl, and technically, since she earns enough from her authorship, like she's fairly comfortable, actually. Like, and then like there's all the money that her hopeful family has put in a bank account for her, and she has access to that. She's just never used it in the 10 years she's been away from home. uh, and that's out of spite, more than anything else. But she has access to her own funds, so she doesn't really have to work. She would have spent a lot of the burning the midnight oil, literally in this case, because we would have an oil lamp. But she would have stayed up writing a bit. She would have, uh, you know, definitely have found some herb somewhere. So she'd have been slowly talking in the moonlight and the lamplight. Um, she is. She's been she's heard about rickshaw, and in a lot of these things, there's all of the rumors are about everyone having these things, but there's never been a thing of where the source of these things is from, right? So as a storyteller and an author, she's fascinated by that. That's one of the reasons why she's come here, and now she started encountering these things. So I think she would have been journaling about the observations that she would have made of people here, where they seem to get the wealth for this, like how does it happen, is how she's kind of looking into as an author to kind of understand and get inspiration for her stories. So she adds Alistair Alistair Smith
Yeah, Alistair Smith.
Alistair Smith to the notes, and circles it a couple of times and says connected to 6 businesses, etc. And then I think she would have gone to sleep and then woken up a little later. So she would have come down for brunch, and that would have only been after and she would have been staying in not the the fanciest hotel or anything. She would have been staying in one of the good hotels, in a good room. She would have done her whole morning workout routine, going through the Kalari kathas, and doing her practice, yoga, all of that. She's a good girl, she is. And yeah, would have gone down for brunch and slowly started dropping the name, dropping the concept of some people owning a lot of the things here, and then if there's a hit there, should have thrown in Alistair Smith. She's trying to get more tea, essentially, but also in most of these situations in any story, if there is someone who is accruing this level of power, there would always be some people who would not be particularly huge fans of that. So she would be trying to look for the people who don't like Alistair Smith.
Oh man, don't worry, there are plenty.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say let's say you pop into a local brunch place. It's just around the corner. You see a couple. It's someplace you probably have gone to a couple times. However, it is packed. There are probably about 35 different patrons there, and one person working the kitchen, one person serving, and then and then the restaurant owner as the host, as they are just slammed. Everyone's just kind of sitting and waiting and grumpy, and the owner of the restaurant is going back and forth from greeting people, make sure that everyone has a seat, telling some people they have to come back. So sorry. We're actually completely full up right now. I apologize. If you come back in maybe an hour, we'll be okay. We'll have someone here. We'll be ready. You see, and there's a help wanted sign that's been out in the front of this restaurant for so long that the sun is starting to make it fade. And so she's, like I said, she's bouncing back and forth between the front and serving people and then going back and trying to help in the kitchen. There's a singular guy in the kitchen who's just freaking out as he's moving between 5 or 6 pots and pans at one time. Also just kind of hoping that he can look at something for long enough to like wash some dishes real quick, just like scrub, goes back to turning something so that it doesn't burn, scrub. The actual server looks like they might cry or quit at any point in time. It's like the energy is just kind of like annoyed, I guess, as everyone is looking at how understaffed this place is. You might even hear a little bit of gossip. Just like she keeps having that hiring sign out. She keeps saying that that she's hiring, but it's always the same. There's never enough people here. Just like whisper as like things go on. And so then the restaurant owner comes out. She goes, "Yes, I'm so sorry. She comes over to you. What is there? I've given you here's a menu. She says, "It only how can I help you? What would you like?"
Simply a breakfast course of your finest, as I've heard many things about your wonderful little establishment. And let's begin with that. I do not want to take more of your time in your need of moments that you cannot waste on.
She goes, thank you so much. She says, and then just kind of like starts to like writes that down, gets something heading back to the kitchen real quick to get things started, and then comes out with like 5 plates across both of her arms, trying to set things down and move across with irate customers basically around the entirety of the store.
In perhaps an aim to get on her good side to, like, have a better conversation later, I think Kalki would have, like, she would have come in, like, all fancy. Similarly, with this time, instead of blue, the entire look is purple, and she has a bit of a coat on top, and this like, one of those crazy hats with one of the big feathers. But she would have, like, kind of put the hat and the coat down, and she would have kind of pulled up the sleeves and just, let me help you with that. I think you wouldn't mind. And I will, like, just offer my hands out, like, if she would pass me some of the plates.
She like there's probably one that was about to fall that she would definitely allow you to grab. She's like, oh no, but I couldn't possibly.
I catch that falling one, and I will, like, gently take one of the other plates. Where do these go?
That table over there. She points. There's just a.
I will do that, and I will. Here, please apologize us for any delay that was caused. Unfortunately, we as a service require us to put our entire being into creating this food for you, and we apologize if that took more time than was appropriate. And she will place the plates.
Yeah, and then there's a the patron there just kind of doesn't really react or anything. I mean, you're all kind of towering over them while they're sitting down, so it's just like,
Yep.
oh yeah, thank you.
It is a little bit of that lurch kind of, like, like with that very calm, beatific smile on her face.
And as you like settle into your seat, like I said, there are plenty of
I would have helped, like, like with the plates, etc. Made sure, like, she's a little more easy to sit down and have a conversation with me as I eat. Like, that's the whole goal of this.
For let's say for this one particular one here, this is not a situation where it looks like this place is going to calm down anytime soon. It's just like there's a line out the door. Things are incredibly staffed. They are understaffed, and there are too many patrons here. She is suffering from a large amount of success, unable to handle the amount of orders she has in front of her. She doesn't have the manpower to do so. But like I said, there are plenty of people around. There are plenty of conversations around. If there's anyone here that you wanted to talk to or things you might listen to, you could roll a listen or a spot hidden to see if there's a bit of a conversation that you can catch up on.
Awesome.
Or people that you think you might recognize.
Awesome. I will do a spot hidden, if that is fine.
All right, go ahead and roll spot hidden for me.
Fuck.
All right, so you needed a 45, and you got an 82. So that is going to be a failure. So with that, I'm going to say that if there isn't anything in particular, anyone that you see here as you wait for your food comes out and it's fine. It's about as good as it can be considering that the restaurant is kind of slammed at the moment. However, when you exit the restaurant, there are two men in suits that are just kind of like standing by the outside of the door, and they go, "Miss Iyengar, could we have a moment with you?"
Oh, I would. Do I recognize them?
You don't recognize them directly, but you recognize the look about them. They are government.
Okay. She would. She would have just been pulling her jacket on, so like it's on her shoulders, but her arms are not through the sleeves, like
Mhm.
in that like casually cool way.
Mhm.
And she would hold out her hand. Yes, Kalki Iyengar. How may I help you?
He goes immediately, "You're not in any trouble whatsoever. We just would like to have a word with you." And just kind of like they step aside, but it's just so that they're not like in the middle of the street. Um, and like there's nothing immediately about the way they look that has you feel as if you're in any danger.
Oh, I did not think I was in danger, which is why I extended my hand
Mhm.
in a form of greeting, which is universally known as a handshake. But
Oh, sorry.
clearly,
I
that is
me as the DM missed you saying you extended your hand.
no,
Yeah, they went
no.
through.
It's I don't mind because it allowed me to bring the sass out. So like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, so they were like shook your head real quick, and they would just be like, "Yeah, can we just? We like to have a conversation with you in a place not as open as this." They say, and they kind of they
Actually,
this, hmm?
actually, if you would not, I would be perfectly willing to aid you in whatever you require. But would you mind? Actually, you might be of assistance in this regard. I have recently come to understand that I have um, acquired an unwanted interest that might not be to the best of my health. So I was thinking of acquiring a holdout weapon, so that I would not be unprepared for possible conflict, as I would assume, gentlemen of the law. Perhaps you could help me with advice as to a suitable weapon.
He goes, "That's actually why we're here." And he looks in real close for you. He leans in real close for you, and he goes, "We need you to help us take down Alistair Smith." And that's going to be where we break.
I
How
think
dare
like so.
you?
Yeah, the only reaction would have been just like a single arched eyebrow going like, "Excuse me," like, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So yeah, that's gonna be where we take our break. So All right, and welcome back. So, last thing we experienced on our break was Kalki coming out of the restaurant, and immediately, men in suits were waiting for her. After just a quick little conversation, is being like, "Yes, hey, that's exactly why we're talking to you. Actually, we are here. We need your help to take down Alistair Smith."
After the excuse me eyebrow raise, she would have like, excuse me?
So we've been watching Mr. Smith for a while now, and we were watching yesterday when the altercation happened, and we think that you might be our in to figuring out what he's got, what exactly kind of operation he's running. He goes, of course, it's like, is there a more private place you would prefer to have the rest of this conversation?
Of course, especially if we are meant to keep this under wraps and not make it brutally aware that we are working or potentially going to be working in a court. I would agree.
And so well, with that, he gives you like he hands you just kind of like a sheet of paper. Looks like a flyer. It's the area that you're kind of like immediately in. If you look like down this row of buildings, if you like were to turn right around a corner and then like head down 3 buildings, there that would be the spot marked in the X. And then he goes, "We'll meet you here," and then they walk a separate direction.
Okay. Again, like, the coiffed, perfectly trimmed eyebrow just kind of raises, but she will like quickly duck and weave and start walking in that direction for another direction.
Okay. And so yeah, it's a very like quick, like nothing really about it. It just looks like they like talked to you, they might have said something, and then they just kind of like left, and then you left. And then they headed into the back door, you headed into the front door, and you are both in the middle of what looks just kind of be like an office, like a cutaway office inside of a larger facade of a building.
Mm.
Uh
Well,
mhm.
gentlemen, you know my name, but I do not know what to address you as.
uh the the two of them, well, one of them, one of the two hands you a business card, and you see that it says the Pinkerton Agency.
Oh,
And so then he says, yes, I'm yeah, I'm Richard Shoemaker.
Mr. Shoemaker of the Wanted Pinkerton Agency. Oh my, this is far more than a simple
Mhm.
independent author can take in a day. Oh dear.
Mhm.
But that again brings me back to an initial question that your query prompted. Why would you choose me?
He goes, specifically, we've been watching Mr. Smith for a while now, and trying to find a way in, trying to find anything that we can pique his interest to get to. I don't know if you know this, he says, but times are changing, and the freewheeling nature of the Wild West is coming to an end. Progress is coming here for uh, rickshaw, whether the township wants it or not.
Hmm.
However, something about the way that that Mr. Smith and his ilk and how they're operating is routing the attempts of the United States government to bring all this to a close. And we need to find how they're doing this so that we can put a stop to it.
Hmm.
So, coming off of our conversation from yesterday, coming off of your conversation from yesterday, we would from every conversation, coming off the way you two conversed from yesterday, we would like to try to see if we could use his interest in you as an in to figure out what exactly their operations look like.
Can I say in that moment, like, in the sleeve of her shirt, she just has this, like, that those one of those paper fans just waiting to be busted out, and she just flicks her hand and the paper fan slicks, and, like, it half covers her face
Sure,
as she
go
just,
for it.
like, leans back. Most curious. Your line of questioning aligns with some of my interests in the matter as to why I came seeking some answers myself. It is perhaps harmonious that we will work together, but that would necessitate me knowing what you know about Mr. Alistair Smith and his establishment, because I believe that would be prudent for an agent of the Pinkerton Agency to be aware of.
Um, and so he says, as a show of good faith, I can provide that information. Oh, would that mean that we'll be working together?
Indeed, especially if I am I am somewhat comfortable with my own ends, but working as a government agent would perhaps incentivize perhaps a form of inventory support.
He goes, this isn't this wouldn't be deputizing you as a government agent, more so it is as you working on behalf of your government. Think of it as if we work together and get this to and find an acceptable conclusion, there can be something. It's like there can be a way that we all make it out of this uh, richer and better off, thanks to the wonderful, thanks to the gratitude of the United States government. However, if it were the case that we didn't find our way to a resolution, uh, things could always get a lot worse.
I completely agree with you. And in many cultures, it is understood that a lone wolf has moved away from the pack to die alone and not trouble it further.
Mm-hmm.
A pack must move together, and if we are going to be tracking our quarry, we should be hunting together. But I am not averse to this conclusion at all. But I would ask that you provide this wolf with a few claws of her own so that she can keep herself safe.
Um, and so they hand you a small dossier on Alistair, and so they ask, so specifically, what would you like from us?
I do have a decent rifle on my in my possession, and I am a decent rider as well. But I have no horse, neither do I have a backup weapon or a holdout weapon. Uh, Maybe those things could be provided for me, and that would facilitate my own endeavors in furthering our mutual end that we seek.
The agents kind of like look at each other, um, just one moment as they just like walk, like take like a couple steps backwards, and they like whisper together amongst each other. And they come back and they say, while we can't see that you would need a horse or would have access to a horse throughout any of these conversations, we can definitely see about providing you a weapon. Needless to say, any establishment that Mr. Smith finds himself in, especially while he's vulnerable, would be one where they check for arms. We can find something small and concealable for you to carry. to protect yourself just in case.
That would be excellent.
Mm. And so he says, so there he goes. With that and the matter settled, we'll provide you with this information, and we'll find you when we have what you need.
And then, Mr. Schumacher, it was an absolute. It was eventful, and I hope that we will reach a satisfactory conclusion to this tale that we embark upon.
And with that, they just kind of Richard Schumacher reaches out for a handshake to kind of conclude the business deal. And
she would not offer the handshake. She would offer her hand out to be kissed. with a bit of a what are you gonna do now kind of smile on her face.
And they're very business as usual. They are the humorless Pinkertons, more ready to bust up a union rather than show any kind of human emotion. So with that being said, they kind of give it a second, and then they say count to 40 and then leave out the other door, and then they just go.
How it is always good when actors stick to their script. Most harmonious.
And they're out. Like they've done everything they need to do at this moment. I'm pretty sure they you suck the joy of life out of a Pinkerton agent whenever they get hired. So this was just business as usual for them. As they head off, and you are basically on your own. What is your goal from here?
I think I would go back to my room because it is the most secure place that I know. And around what time would it be now?
So you went in for brunch. You had this whole clandestine meeting. It was probably about 2:30 in the afternoon.
And this is a question to Chanel. Would Sally and Kalki have made plans to meet in the next day as new friends?
If Kalki had suggested it, Sally would have jumped on the idea. 100%. Yeah.
So then, about when, she'd have asked when your school day would have ended.
I think school traditionally, I don't know if it still did in that back in times. It's around 3:30. It's when school finishes. I think maybe she would be done at around. I think she does a lot of her lesson planning in the classroom, so maybe she would leave at around 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's 2:30 right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think she would, and we would have agreed to meet probably at some. I would have suggested, actually, in that moment, I would have suggested the most generic, cafe, nothing exotic, nothing eye-catching about, yeah. The most generic white establishment that we could have imagined. That
I'm
with all
trying
of
to
his
make a Starbucks pun so bad, and I can't make it happen. I can't make it happen.
Because I at least she would have known that with Alistair Smith's interests, that would be maybe a place that he would not be at,
Spurbucks.
Yeah, Spurbucks.
Yep.
Yes.
So are you going to try to read in the time in between, or?
I would try to read in between because as any author knows, you have to understand the plot first. So 100%.
All right. I would like for you to roll libraries for me.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is not going to be great because I didn't put too much into it, but so close.
All right, cool. So here comes.
Is there a thing? Can I use my luck? Can I use like 6 points of my luck?
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. That there is, so you rolled a 26 and you needed a 20 in order to succeed.
Yeah.
However, there is a thing that you can use this game called luck. It's one of originally your core stats. If ever you want to, make a failed roll a successful roll, you can subtract from your total luck, and then you can add that to your roll in order to make it a success. However, luck is a finite resource per the adventure. It comes back at the end of the adventure. And the house rule is that you can only use 10 points of luck total. So you couldn't go from like 55 to like a 30. It would, in this case, though, from a 26 to a 20 is acceptable.
Awesome. So then I would
Edit your sheet. I would also like just, I don't, as far as like future use of this character, I don't know. But I would just somewhere keep track of how much money, how much luck that you had in general. And so then you click edit in the roll 20, and then you subtract 6.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Done.
And so I'm going to say with that, you were able to just, like read through everything inside of the dossier. So you see inside the dossier is information about Alistair Smith. He's 45 years old. He is the grandson of an oil tycoon. Smith Oil has been going big for the last like 50 years or so. They have a couple of businesses across what's now multiple states. His family is spread out, and different ones of them are on different regional branches. However, he is the person who's in charge of the Smith Oil Corporation in its entirety. They see that he did, in fact, head to Africa. He's been to Africa recently. He's been to some areas of India recently. He's been traveling a lot and been being a menace everywhere that he goes. Not really just like kind of coming back and getting kicked out. He likes to spend time in he has several different drug habits that he likes to partake of. At the time, different kinds of opiates were not illegal the same way they are over here. And I don't think we're in the era of prohibition right now. So like you drink is fine, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, there were opium dens in the West even at this time. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So he is hedonistically taking part of everything that he can with the money that he has, trying to make sure that the wheels stay on the company so that he has enough money to continue to go everywhere. However, you have seen that there have been several disputes at different oil refineries of him making decrees to not pay workers, or to pay as little as possible so he can continue to siphon more money out for himself. Since deciding to settle into Rickshaw fairly recently, you see that he has roughly about 10 businesses that he's incorporated into his portfolio since coming here. Restaurants, lots of restaurants, a couple of different apartment buildings that he's decided he's wanted, a hotel at one point, a haberdashery where he gets his shoes, specifically where he gets his shoes done. He bought the entire thing out so that way it would be just for him. And just like a couple of small businesses here and there that were doing pretty great up until the time that he bought them. And now, in which case, they're just his and they have his name on them as they're acting as vanity projects. It sees a couple of connections to other rich people in the area. There is a small like page on another rich person. The name next to it says Catherine Page, 60 years old. It has a couple of notes off to the side of it that point to the the Page ranches on the outskirts of the town. And then just a couple of like notes of how she married in a while ago and her husband, who owned everything before her, died of mysterious circumstances. And then so it's an older woman in her 60s. She has gray hair. She's thin. You see that she has a lot of jewels, and she dresses herself in a lot of like lavender and white. However, you do see that familiar pin that you saw on Alistair's jacket in the picture. The pin
It's
Hmm?
sorry. Please continue. I will make my question at the end.
Okay. The pin itself looks kind of like an eye, but like the metal is it's like a metal pin, but it looks like an eye.
Sus. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Would in any of the personal notes on Miss Catherine, given like all of what I've heard so far, would she be a fan of smut literature, and would she have heard my name?
um That's a hard question. It doesn't really. There's not a whole lot here. You really just kind of see her business dealings directly with Smith, where you see the two of them, like where they have like co-ownership over something, or where like they've talked about a different spot inside of the township. Like you see
Hmm.
that there's like a small little map that's connected to her part inside of here. It's not like a dossier on her, it's a dossier on him, and it just has like his business associates. But on her, you see that there are a couple of different jewelry stores across town that are probably either hers or that she's been talking to. And that's really just
Hmm.
about like between that and the pictures of jewelry on her in the dossier, that's really about all you get.
What is her name? Catherine? What?
Catherine Page.
Catherine Page. All right. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think she would have been quietly reading. Her face flits from blank, just stare to like hints of derision to hints of like, hmm, and then last she would have just been kind of closed the holder and kind of looked up and away,
Mhm.
um, just kind of trying to take it all in, um, and how this is a really odd thing to happen to an author. Uh, but yeah, she is considering all of that, but then she would kind of look at the time. Uh, I think she would have gone to get to Spurbucks early,
Mhm.
because
All right.
she would have had I think she'd have kind of should have got there early, and should have had a little notebook out, and she'd be like scribbling some little notes, partly about just things that she's learned, and then partly it's like notes for stories, and oh, this maybe this could be this, yeah, she's sticking to her task.
Okay. Excellent. And we're going to move back over to you, Sally Hayes. So it's the end of the day for you. You are fairly worn out. Uh, you've had a talking to a young boy,
Mhm.
and now it's the end of your day. I'm going to say, as you're leaving and you're kind of worn out, I want you to give me a hard spot hidden roll. So what that is that
Ooh.
at the top of your sheet,
Mhm.
you have the little slider, regular, like hard, extreme. I want you
Mhm.
to just click hard and then click spot hidden.
Ooh, skills spotted, and
They are alphabetical. That is a
they
hard
are
success.
indeed.
You needed a 30 and you got a 14. Excellent.
Eyes in
Let's
the back of
go.
my
Let's
head,
go.
baby.
I'm gonna say, so as you are leaving yourself, you see you as you're leaving yourself, you're talking to everyone saying goodbye. The principal comes out real quick and he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hayes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for handling the issues with the boys. We are working on something. I promise you, we're trying to get something done right here. I'm under so much stress right now. You look inside of the
Mhm.
office and it's just him. There, you expect to be like a secretary or like someone else who's like working the front desk of the school. It's the principal is the only person in that area of the office right here. That's just like, I'm trying so hard. I appreciate your patience. Like you said, I've reached out to my network outside of Rickshaw to see if we can get any teachers to come in. Anyone needs help. I've raised the pay rates. Speaking of, and then because you've been doing so much, and the need, like I've increased your pay as well. So
Oh.
at the end of this school year, when the end of this semester, when the rates reset, when we go through the annual raises and everything, we've worked in the consideration of how hard you've been working this whole time. You are truly one of the most treasured teachers we have here, and we appreciate you for that.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, sir.
Just please continue doing as you're doing, and we will have someone as quickly as we can. And so as the hard spot hidden you had is as you're like looking through the office, you notice that there's like an eye just like scratched into the desk of like where the assistant like would be. Like there's that desk at the front where people come in and they look at things, and there's just like an eye like scratched into it.
It looks like it's scratched with some sort of tool, some sort of sharp implement.
some sort of something. Someone took something and they carved it in there. No idea why.
And it's on this top surface, or is it like
no, it's like there's like the desktop, and then there's like the little spot underneath it where like your legs like hide your legs and all that. And so like it's like cut into there.
It's not supposed to be visible. She just happened to. Well, I mean, hey, that was a good roll.
Yeah, like everyone is really busy. Everyone's doing their own thing. There's, like they need people at this school, so no one would have paid attention to it. It's kind of hard to pay attention to it when everyone has like 45 to like 50 kids in the class.
I think it's because she's still frustrated with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of she gestures in the direction of it, and she goes, Did any of our students get into the office? There's some sort of vandalism on the underside of that desk.
He goes, it's just me here and what? How did? No, we have to fix that. He goes, it's right.
I'm sure the custodians can easily buff it out.
He goes, it'll be all right. It'll be fine. I have to talk to the mayor. There's the school board. Yeah, it's a school board meeting where we talk to the local governance, and we set out the budget for everything. It's how I'm able to decide who gets like where the money's allocated. So like there's been like some like small marks and stuff like that over things all over the school. So it's all right. I'll put it in the budget and send the proposal to the mayor to make sure we have the funds for it. He typically signs off on everything, so there's no problem.
You're talking about, well, is it such an issue that it's not already budgeted for? It's a.
He goes, I don't know if you know how hard it is to attract school staff, how to find school staff, how to train school staff. It is very important that we have people who can work with kids, and the fact that I can't hire them, he's like kind of like very like cagey about this. If you want more from him, so like you can kind of like feel the vibe off of him if you want to go for a psychology role, or if you want to like try to get more information out of him, you would use your interpersonal skill.
I think her psych is higher. What's interpersonal skill?
Your interpersonal skill is how you get information from people. So that's like charm, fast talk, persuade, intimidate.
Oh. Now the fun thing about Sally is her charm is one of her highest stats. She just doesn't like using it. So I think she's going to go psychology instead.
Okay. So go ahead and roll psychology for me.
Yay!
Do you still? Oh, you have a regular. Okay, cool. So
it is right. Oh yeah,
no, it is regular. I just wanted to make sure because we saw it. So you had you needed to roll a 40, and you got a 15. That's half of your total number, so that's a hard success.
Hell yeah!
So with that, you can see that he's trying to like hold things back, but he is so very stressed. Like if just like the slightest push in another direction to be like, for you to be like, I see you and I understand at this moment, he'll probably cave to anything you say.
Hmm. I think then she says, what does she say? I think she pushes in the direction of the mark. I don't think she pushes in the direction of hiring, because I think she's starting to feel she's pretty young. She's 26. She moved out here because her career was floundering in the city. And I think hearing that they're desperate for teachers is making her doubt her own capabilities. So she doesn't want to hear more about that. So instead, she pushes in on the budget, and she wants to hear more. She doesn't understand. I'm so sorry to push you on this, but I just don't understand how you would have to consult the mayor regarding the custodian's budget for buffing out schoolhouse vandalism. The children, they make marks on their desks almost every day.
So this
It's
isn't, so
normal.
point of clarification here, this isn't really like just like a little like scratch or anything that you can buff out. This looks
Right.
like carved in. So
Oh
like
yeah, but
this will have to
she's
be
mad at Tommy.
yeah.
She's skipping over that because she thinks
uh,
Tommy just really did something real bad.
mhm. Yeah, so like this is carved in. So this isn't something that's really going to be like you can get out. And so then
Yeah.
he's just
Oh.
like he's looking and he's just like Mrs. Hayes, I'm going to have to replace the desk.
Oh dear.
If and like there was a door that somebody scuffed up really bad too, and like there's no real way out of that. Like you just gotta have to replace it. If I'm looking at replacing school furniture, like that is a certain amount of like I need money for that.
I think then she's going to put like above table, what she's pushing for is what the significance of the carving is, because unless it is um altering the structural integrity of the desk, I don't think she's understanding, because she didn't see, I don't think she clocked Alistair. It was Alistair? I don't think she clocked the
Yeah.
pin. She's not seeing that, ooh, scary iconography. She's going,
Mhm.
a kid snuck in here and got up to some shenanigans, had a big knife, probably should find that knife. The kid shouldn't have it. And
Mhm.
she's failing to understand, why is the sigil making the whole desk a write-off?
Oh, well, it's less that it's the significance of anything that's cut into there and more just kind of that he is concerned about the appearance of the school for teachers, for
Ah,
parents, for anyone who comes in. It's a bad look
right.
for furniture to be in disrepair across the entirety of the school. It makes the school
And
look bad, and
simply
then the school gets less
mhm.
money, and then it's a spiral of things not working the way it needs to work. So if
It's
he's
simply
instead
patching it over makes it look like ramshackle.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's very much like I'll include that in your hard psychology role in the like where he's just like, yes, it's just more just kind of the that's not the appearance the school should have. This is an area of esteem, you know, like this is the school to send your kids in rickshaw. This is why we have so many kids, because so many people like to send their kids here. And so I would like to carry this area with the same level of prestige that's been granted to us in the public opinion, which is why we're
Mm.
going to have to replace a lot of this furniture.
I suppose you're right. I think we should also try to find out which of our students has such a sharp carving implement. And I think at that she enters the office and she goes to take a closer look at it. This is
Mm.
really deep into the wood.
And he goes, yes, it's honestly so surprising that I missed this. There must have, and maybe we have some other kind of vandals and this just happened at a time period I wasn't here. I feel like I would have heard this. It definitely couldn't have happened over the course of the day. Maybe it's just, and like it's the fact that he's like a little bit taller, but also he's just like really busy.
Mm,
The further you look at him, you do kind of see like bags under his eyes, like he's been
mm,
working really hard for like burning a midnight oil consistently, that he was probably just too tired to have seen anything.
mm. One thing at a time, right, sir?
Mhm.
Mm, and I think she's tempted to take this on as something she helps with, but she's got too much work to do already. So I think it's in her posture. If he's the type of person who likes to over delegate, he may, in her body language, see an opportunity to ask her for more help than she should offer. But she
Hmm.
does keep her mouth shut. And I'm
Uh,
curious. Oh, yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say he already feels bad enough about having you work
Mm.
the essentially 2 classes, so he is at this point just adding that into a list of like, and this is why I need to hire somebody, and this is why I need to hire somebody.
Yeah. Is there anything else you can see having or perceive rather having entered the office?
Everything looks the same. Everything's fine.
Okay. Then I think he probably caught her on her way out, correct?
Yeah.
I think then she turns to the after like rubbing her thumb across the sigil, or the mark rather, she doesn't think it's a sigil. She's just like, why the kids why? Why have you done
Hmm.
this? She stands up, brushes off her hands a bit, and goes, well, as I said, one thing at a time, sir. I'm sure all of this will be resolved quicker than any of us could expect. Hopefully, quicker than any of us could expect. Um, but unless there's anything else you need from me, I think I should be heading out.
He's just like, no, 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 absolutely, absolutely. Please, please. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye. And then he leaves as he goes back to working through mountains of paperwork.
Oh, poor man. I don't know the man's name, but poor man, poor sir. Sorry to this man.
And yeah, with that, nothing happens to you on your way. So the two of you are meeting at not Starbucks,
Spurbucks.
Sparbucks.
Because spurs are like star shaped.
Oh,
Spur,
Spurbucks.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like a
Spurbucks.
cowboy, like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
It is perfect in the moment. Like you crafted the beautiful pun.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Because it's true, right? Because like when you have the spur on, what happens? The horse usually bucks.
Oh my
Mhm.
God.
It was perfect. Girl,
It's
fab.
beautiful.
Girl, fab.
Teamwork makes
Mhm.
the dream work, makes the pun work. Hey.
Yeah.
Uh, uh.
So you all pull into Spurbucks, and I'm which one of you we're gonna pass which one of you were there first now as we're just kind
I
of
think
sitting
I
here.
think
I
Kalki was there
Yeah,
first.
Kalki,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And it's it's late afternoon. The sun's not setting just yet, but it's a calm area where you all are at. And someone will be with you all shortly. But go ahead and yeah.
Uh, like if you like, around that time, around that time, whenever that, if there was a little bell near the door, to let the people know that someone is coming through the door.
Mm.
Whenever that sound would have happened, she'd have kind of looked up and if it wasn't Sally, she'd have gone back to her reading. But then I think when Sally enters, there'll be a quick hand raised in greeting, and then quickly putting the folder aside, and then slipping it into I think into my jacket, and yeah, because she's sensible enough to have very large pockets in her jackets. She'd stand up and just I guess there'd be a little moment of hesitation where her arms would have gone up, but then like control, and just held out a hand of greeting. Um, Evening, Miss Hayes, and how was your day?
It was a reminder of why I'm still a teacher, because if any other job was as hard, I would quit on the spot. How was your day?
It was eventful, would be one
Mm.
possible uh, adjective I could ascribe to my day, yes.
Mm.
But that is for a later point. I have tasted their beverage and food options. It is not
Mm.
terrible.
I quite like this establishment. It's one that she like I said earlier, she was been afraid to go to the cool tea shop. So this is the one she's been going to. So she's like, wow, I like it.
Oh yeah, she's just like Kalki is looking around. There's a small like just a hint of just like derision because I think because it's not authentic. It's a place that called it's like chai tea, right?
Yeah, chai tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kalki is just there's that slight raise of the yes, delightful, quaint. Yes. Uh, it boggles the mind that certain people cross the world looking for spices and other kinds of gold and then brought it all back and did nothing with it. Befuddles the mind. But how's your day? You seemed like it was a task and a half, perhaps. And she would kind of pull out one of the seats and gesture for you to sit down before she will
Mm.
cross the table and sit around.
She gladly flops her body down into the chair. She's got like a big leather satchel that's full of all of her different teaching implements, books, and things like that. She kind of hangs that over the back of the chair. She goes, yes, if you can believe it, I'm teaching 2 classes at once because, well, honestly, I can't quite understand what the problem is, but the principal, he's really struggling to find staff down to office staff. It seems like it's only him in the office, and
Hmm.
it's only me doing well, it's not only me doing double duty, surely, but it's only me in that area of the floor of the school. I barely ever get to see any other teachers at all. It's very overwhelming, and of course, I love it, so I can't really complain, and I am grateful to have this position. I came out here because I was struggling to find work, and I found it, but he can't seem to find anybody else. It's odd. It's
Well,
so odd.
it would be odd, but unfortunately, as it is evidenced in a society where no one really has wants or needs that they need to pursue, they are free to their own devices and their own inclinations. So, ones who would still give of themselves what is required of someone in your calling is more of a personal choice and a nobility of the soul that does not necessarily transcend everybody. I'm not surprised that there are very
Mm.
few teachers in such a world.
I suppose you're right. And she really wants you to be right because she feels now that she's honorable for being a teacher, but she's also thinking about how she felt like she was on the bottom rung of a lot of teachers back in the city. She's not quite sure what to believe, but she prefers your version of the truth.
Yeah. Um, she would have gotten, there would have been a, a little kettle of some chai tea. And there would have been an interaction where the server would have come to her and offered her chai tea. And there would have just been this glacial kind of look up, uh,
In contrast to that, she's so excited because she thinks chai tea is the tastiest beverage in the world.
there is a begrudging roll of the eyes as she pours out some chai tea.
Why do you keep
And
saying it like that?
oh shit, sorry, folks, sorry, my dad is calling. I'm going to have to step away for a couple of minutes.
Oh,
Apologies.
Okay, no problem.
okay. We can water bottle times.
Yeah, so we could take a quick break right here while we get everything back together. And see you all in a bit. All right, and welcome back, everybody. Had a quick break here. We get back into it. Yeah, you all have been kind of sitting here, just kind of talking over your days and how things are going. And I want both of you roll a spot hidden for me.
Let's go.
All right, so Adi, you rolled an 89 when you need to roll a 45, so that is going to be a failure. However, Sally, you rolled a 53 when you needed a 60 or below, so that is a success. So I'm going to say in the middle of this conversation, you all have been kind of just like sitting and chatting for a while now. In the middle of this conversation, you see Sammy, the boy from yesterday. He's just kind of like walking and like looking around his shoulder or whatever, kind of like walking a little suspicious as he's as he's like moving through the area.
I think Sally would hear a low purr coming from Kalki as she sees Sammy enter the scene. But yeah.
Yeah, he looks as if he's trying to be incognito and being like very bad at it, but he's also being incognito in that no one is paying attention to him. It just, you remember him yesterday from when he was sopping wet covered in tea after a guy was about to punch him.
Oh no. He looks like he's up to something, doesn't he, Kalki?
Yes, most certainly. Usually he doesn't crouch that much. I don't appreciate the depreciation in the aesthetic. And I will just raise my arm and just go, like, that, we are here, kind of like beckoning hand wave.
He's not really paying attention to you more so as he's just kind of like moving his way through. He's like so like you'll have like that big window that shows the way town's moving. He's like a bit further away, so like him walking across the big glass for you all
Right. Oh,
takes a little
sorry.
bit of time.
I thought he'd come into the cafe. Sorry.
No. He's just kind of like out like walking, just like doing a
Okay.
thing, like skulking through the town. It's like it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit busier, but if it's someone who you've seen and become aware of, they stand out a lot more to you in a crowd now. So
100%.
mhm.
I'd kind of then turn to Sally and go, I know you have had a long day, but perhaps are you a follower of the philosophy that the mundane has to be broken with moments of the exceptional to keep a harmony between the highs and lows of life?
There's a look across her face that's clearly like, I have never heard any of those words in that order before, but she goes, yes.
Then perhaps we could get into a little bit of trouble. After all,
Sure.
school teachers are the ones who have to understand trouble because they have to deal with it the most. Is it not?
You do have a point.
And she would smirk and put her hat back on as she would stand up and offer a dashing arm in what is an obvious over the top bow for Sally Hayes to come on, my friend. We have adventured, friend.
Sally slips one hand under the arm and the other just barely her fingertips are on top of Kalki's arm, and she is flushed. As she like giggles more like a schoolgirl than a school teacher, and has a little like a bounce in her step as they both head off into mischief.
Yep.
All right.
Partner in crime. That is always a quality I have looked for. Yes.
And so I'm going to say, hang on a second. Let me find an appropriate role for you. I have an idea for it, but I think something might be a little bit better. I'm going to say I want you all to roll. How are you trying to follow him? Are you like skulking after him to see, trying to stay outside of his field of view, or are you just walking and like keeping track of him?
I'd actually kind of turn to Sally to get. I mean, because I think Kalki wouldn't mind either way, but yeah, would leave that to Sally Hayes in the moment.
I think Sally's now fully bought into the adventure, and she kind of like skulks down a little bit and goes, "We probably shouldn't let him catch us following him."
Her hand will come over to just kind of like cover a smile, but then indeed,
All right.
let us
Okay.
be, as they say in Britain, sneaky peeky about this.
Her laugh is too loud to be sneaky, and she like immediately like covers her mouth.
All right, I'm gonna make this a particular roll. If you pass this roll, it means that you're following like fairly closely. If not, then you're just kind of like you kind of like lose the trail. Go ahead, and like have to take some time to find him. Roll stealth for me.
What
Wow,
the
that's so
fuck?
crazy. You both got the same
Twinsies.
number.
Yeah,
Both of you
yeah.
needed to roll a 20 or below, and both of you rolled an 80. So with that,
I think we're giggling a little too much. Like,
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's one of those high on life moments where everybody else thinks like two friends are drunk and they're just having a great time.
So the two of you are just kind of, it's not really like you're actually like skulking behind or anything, but you are actually just kind of like having a good time in a casual walk, and you lose track of him every now and then, just kind of based off of the seriousness of what you're actually trying to see what he's getting up to. And so I'm gonna say that this actual like finding him thing, guessing where he might have gone, happens a lot of with more so like deductive skills than it does actually seeing him. um and so you move away from the like the sunnier, busier parts of town, and you move into like the quieter, like darker sides of town. You slide into an alleyway here or there. Sun's not shining between the sun's not shining between the roads. It's a lot darker. You see people kind of just like you're like standing out in the alleyway, like minding their own business or like glowering or whatever as they're doing things behind whatever the business is that they're at.
DM, there is one thing that I would have liked to have done, because I did say I went back to my room, right? Part of it was for the security of like just reading some of that there, but also so that I could pick up my rifle and have it on the long sling, so that it is under my overcoat. So
Okay.
like she is armed.
Okay. No problem. uh And so like it's a lot more just kind of like no one's really trying to get into anything, but everyone is just kind of like, like putting out their menacing aura. Just like don't start none, won't be none kind of scenario about it. And eventually you roll spot hidden for me.
Roll what?
Spot
Spot
hidden.
hidden.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go.
Whoa! Uncharacteristic!
So while you could spin luck here, Sally rolled a 60, was 63 when they needed 60. It wouldn't be recommended because Clacky Iron got here. Adi rolled a 7 when they needed a 45 for an extreme success. So with that, you're able to just kind of like keep track and to see exactly where he would have piled into. You see what looks to be like an abandoned office building, and they're like you hear a couple of people shuffling around on the inside of there. You might see you like very briefly might see Sammy like walk by the window at some point as like a conversation is happening inside of there.
Hmm. I would, like, as we get closer to the thing, I would go.
Oh
And
yeah, Sally is definitely in mid sentence when you clock something, and
Mhm.
she's like completely oblivious, and you have to stop her to bring her back into wait something's actually happening mode.
and I would say, like, let's keep low. And she'd kind of try and get closer to see if they can take a look. Also, what time is it right now? Because I'm kind of trying to keep track of how much ambient light is there.
It's probably closer to 7 p.m. now.
Oh, okay. So not as it's dark
Mhm.
ish. right?
Yeah, it's
Twilight,
darkish. Like it's
Twilight.
yeah, it's almost nighttime.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So so if you get close, roll listen for me, see what you might pick up on.
Listen. Um, oh, that's not going to be okay. I mean, whatever. This is all luck. Ah, failure.
Failure. All right, and do you want to go ahead and roll for that too, Sally?
Oh.
Mhm.
I thought that was just for Kalki.
Partner
If
in
you're trying to
crime,
listen to
girl.
anything inside of the room, okay, cool. That's also a failure. Both of you need to roll a 20 as the base listen stat. Kalki rolled a 54 and Sally rolled an 88. And so now I'm going to pull you into yet another feature of Call of Cthulhu. If you ever roll and you fail, you have the ability to push a roll. Pushing a roll
Mm.
allows you to re-roll. However, if the roll fails this time, you suffer a consequence. So I offer this to you all. Would you like to push this roll to see what is going on inside of this building?
Mm-hmm. I think
I want
Hmm.
or
both
you'd
you push it
say
if you
no
decide you
because
want to.
Sally would be down for it.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
All
Okay,
right,
is
so
it okay.
before you click,
Yeah.
I want you
Mhm,
to tell me specifically
mhm.
what you do to try extra hard to listen here. How do you risk it for this moment?
I think Sally, in hearing Kalki say stay low, now feels like she has an opportunity to use the fact that she is barely 5'1". And so she tries to make herself very, very small. And you said what is the can you if you can repaint that word picture for me, please? Where is I forget our target, who we're
Sammy?
tailing. Yeah, Sammy. Where
All
is
right, cool. So
he?
Sammy is inside of this building, somewhere inside of this building. This is like it's like an abandoned office or like an abandoned shop. It's
Mhm.
like a wooden outside. It's got the fancy like moldings around the windows. And like inside, you can see that there used to be like a couple like rooms and things like that available. There's now just like a singular wall that you see, and Sammy walked by the wall, which made him visible from the outside as you were looking in the mirror, looking through the window.
The
Uh,
window. Okay.
yeah.
So it's a
So
closed door.
yeah. So there's a closed door. You can put your ear to like the glass. You can put your ear to like the door. There's whatever way you think that you try to make yourself more conspicuous or put yourself more at risk to hear what's going on in there.
And you said it's an abandoned building, so it's a little bit ramshackle,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Okay. I think then Sally, I think she sees near the window. The window's a bit drafty. It's a bit broken. There's some gaps. I think she tries to take advantage of her little stature to go sneak up under the window. Is it a windowsill from the outside? I don't
yeah.
know.
And we want to stuff outside. Yeah, we'll
Oh,
say
the
that. Yeah.
windowsill?
Mhm.
Okay, she's under the windowsill and she's just trying to get her ear closer to that gap in the where the window is starting to come away from the window frame.
Okay.
And then
I
how do
think
I push it? Mhm.
And you just
I
roll. Just
think
roll again. But we're gonna say
I
Kalki before you press it. Before you press it.
I think seeing Sally doing this she'd kind of look with some concern and just mouth, "Are you sure?"
Mhm.
Then she'd give a nod, like like she'd do the Indian head nod,
Mhm.
and like pull out the rifle and then just like have it ready and held if something untoward happens.
All right, both of you click now.
Ooh. Ah, I kind of wanted that to happen.
But that's a two.
Unfortunately,
That's
you cannot add luck to a pushed roll.
oh
Man.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
oh
that
no.
is a 22 instead of a 20 for Sally, and that is an 84 instead of a 20 for Kalki. Add an extra A there. And so with that, I'm going to say that you hear three distinct voices. One of them is Sammy. They sound very stressed. It sounds like something is about to happen. And then as you press your ear further into like into the windowsill or into like the structure, there's a very loud creak as the wood gives in under your weight. And you
Ooh.
hear very quickly, what was that? Then there's like a very brief pause. And then someone says, fuck it, it's not worth it. And then they just like, you hear like a loud, like scrambling sound in the back. And then like a door opens and bursts. And then like this running away several different feet.
Sally bonks her head on the windowsill trying to get up.
I think Kalki would have moved to aid her in the extrication in whatever way she could. But she'd kind of be trying to do that with an eye on the people run away. Like she's trying to just spot features of anybody else other than Sammy that she could get a bead
They
on.
all ran away on the back of the building. You were
back
from the
of the
front, you wouldn't have been able to see
Oh.
anything. So it just
Okay.
sounds like people scattered.
Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And
Ow.
what was the little bit of conversation that we had overheard? Storyteller, sorry to ask you to.
You didn't really hear too much of anything, just other than like it sounded like something was about to happen. Like it sounded like something was imminent, and there was like a worried hush across the voices, but you couldn't really pick up anything. At most, you got that there were 3 distinct voices.
Mm. Do you
Including
think Sammy's in trouble?
I am uncertain from what I confirmed with Auntie Maya is that he's a good boy, which is what made him catch my eye. I do like corrupt and good boys. Sorry, I apologize. I'm not sure, Miss Hayes. And at this, I will take this opportunity to remind you that I asked you to call me Kalki, and I still have not been offered the same. And she will kind of look up, and
Oh.
there's a, like, sob, sniff.
I think she genuinely looks like disappointed in herself that she has skipped over something that was socially expected, but the dramatic sniff gets another giggle out of her, and she goes, Sally Hayes.
Most excellent. Good. I shall not hold it against you, and will not curse your bloodline. This is a most.
Oh.
This is a most harmonious resolution. But
Could
I
you
am
never mind.
no. I indulge any curiosity. I'm very open.
You can't actually curse my bloodline.
She
Can you?
will just kind of lean in and start making mudra hand gestures, which are actually gestures from Bharatnatyam, but they seem kooky and spell component enough ish. That, and then she just goes,
Oh. And she get, when you tell a kid something that they don't believe, but you're also an adult and they feel like they maybe should believe you because what you said was terrifying. That's the look she gets on her face of just like, funny joke, but just cold terror behind her eyes.
Yeah, like little Tommy with the people with the red clothes.
Literally, yes.
So now you all are standing outside of this place. What are you gonna do?
Should we pursue them? I don't know.
Well, clearly he is involved in something, and it is late enough by now that perhaps I am feeling rather worried. I feel like I should visit Auntie Maya's shop. I am unclear as to whether I may have provoked something in Mr. Alistair.
I suppose so. Maybe, though, as we go there, perhaps we could take a bit of a detour around the other side of this building. I mean, we're just out for a walk. No one can fault us for walking, right?
Of course, it is the land of the free, is it not?
It is.
I'm gonna say that you go through the alleyway and you look on the back side of the building. You see three just kind of like murky sets of footprints that just each go in separate directions. But roll spot hidden for me.
Ooh. Spot hidden.
Fuck.
So while Kalki rolled a 94 when they needed a 45, Sally rolled a 22 when they needed a 60, which is a hard success. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
And so with that, you see a journal that like fell behind like a trash can or something that's just kind of sticking out.
Ooh. Sally goes straight for it, scoops it up, starts thumbing through it.
You look on the outside of the journal is like a leather bound journal with like it looks like handmade, right? And on the outside of it is the symbol of an Ouroboros.
Take a look at this.
That
So
is
strange.
that is not ominous imagery at all.
And when you open the book, it is all gibberish. It is all nonsense. It is written with letters you recognize, but is unintelligible as far as you can put together. Both of you rolled intelligence roll.
Okay.
Sorry, roll a hard intelligence roll specifically.
Ooh.
A hard intelligence roll, okay?
Dagnet it.
All right, and both of you rolled a failure in this case. So I'm going to say that all you can kind of seem to tell is that this is definitely intentionally written, but it's not anything that you can read. If you want to try to work on this sometime, maybe like overnight or something, then you can make a library use roll for it if you want to maybe see if anything can be gleaned from it. But that
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Sally she's pretty bookish, and I think she went through a bit of a ciphers phase when she was studying to be a teacher. So she's going to tuck it away in her bag and go, I'll take a look at this later. I believe this may be some sort of code, but it'll take some doing to figure out what each letter actually stands for. None of these letters go together in words that make any sense on first reading.
Is it a form of encryption, perhaps?
I think it might be. And the footprints, they all go in separate directions, correct? And the people who left the footprints, they're long gone.
Yeah, they're all gone. They booked it immediately.
I think then Sally would defer to Kalki, and she'd be content to go back to the tea shop, but she's now poring over the journal, just trying to refresh her own memory to see if she can remember anything about ciphers, or perhaps she has a book at home that like just to expedite the process of solving it later.
Yeah, if Sally then just kind of tucks the book away, Kalki would nod and be like, "Right, then perhaps we should check in with Auntie Maya. I will admit I did want to do this. I have a bad feeling about it."
Yes, it's quite odd. You know, now that I didn't think much of it earlier, but I saw a strange carving in the underside. I think I already told you about the carving itself. I thought it was just schoolhouse graffiti, but it was an eye.
I,
Uh,
I at that point, like I would remember the pins that both
mm,
Alistair, what's his name, and Catherine Page had. So I would kind of like quickly sketch that out in the little notebook that I have. Would it be resemble anything like this?
is it?
And yeah, I mean, like the overall, like I iconography is like kind of very like similar in like OneNote. The one that was
Mm.
carved into the desk was probably a little bit more like angular and like hard carved in because of like the
Mhm.
time and the way things worked out. But yeah, they look very similar.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's it. That's what was carved on the underside of the desk in the principal in the office at the school. I don't think a child carved it. Why would they? It's so
That
specific.
is most curious, unless the children like to imitate their progenitors and they would have seen this symbol on their person at some time and are just doing the necessary hero worship of empty minded children that sometimes happens.
I'm not so sure about that. It was different, but it's notoriously hard to carve a curve into wood with a knife. It was, of course, more lines and corners than
Hmm.
what you've drawn,
Mhm.
but I it was so deep into the wood. I really do think if a child had tried to do this, they would have cut themselves and we would have found out about it a lot sooner.
Mhm. If you all don't mind, I'm gonna like, unless you like want to have the conversation here in this back alleyway,
Oh,
kind
this
of
is gonna
just
be a
like,
walk and talk.
yeah, I was gonna say I could just like space shift you all right to the tea house
Tea
real
shop.
quick, the tea shop,
Yep.
just to
Yeah.
Yep.
like condense what we got going on.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'd get to the door and I'd kind of open it and duck in and walk.
Mhm.
Um, Auntie, Auntie.
He was like, oh, yes, 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 yes. How, like, I don't know culturally exactly how you be addressed. That's on me.
Oh, I think it would just be like the essential of like daughter, which is mole, which is it's enda mole. Yeah.
And
Mm.
so, in the mole. She's like, yeah, yes, of course. Hi. She's like, I have a seat. I have a place for you. I have a seat right here. A table is empty, and it's just her working today.
I would like before taking the seat. Have you been contacted by Mr. Alistair? Sorry, what is the surname? It keeps
Smith.
escaping me. Smith.
Yeah.
Has you been contacted by him at all?
She goes, not yet. I assume that means that he's probably out bothering someone else, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens.
All right. Please let me know if he attempts something. Like, try and get word to me.
Mhm.
I would like to be present.
She goes,
I would not want to see you handle that without someone in your corner.
oh yes, absolutely. And don't worry, there's plenty of us here. We're together. We're all very strong.
Yes, sometimes these people need to be taught that, but that is understandable.
Mhm.
Uh, some chai, please.
He
I
goes,
had, I
mhm.
had to be content with chai tea earlier, and I need to wash my mouth.
Oh yeah, she like pats like your hand real quick. She goes, I completely understand. I completely understand. It's just like one moment. I'll be right back. And so it's like she goes. There's probably like three or four people inside of the tea shop other than you all. She's the only one working right now. As she starts to brew the tea and get everything ready.
I think we'd go to one of the like open tables, like maybe a little to the back, and
Mhm.
then I'd just kind of scoot my chair a little closer. And so, do you think it is not a child, but the work of an adult?
Most definitely. I've seen the carvings that my students have whittled into the undersides of their desks. They never really get that deep into the wood. They don't have the strength for it, and they don't have the manual dexterity for anything any more complex than some rude word or initial or something like that. This is it's much more intricate, concerning.
Hmm.
And I
Well,
think she already has the book open and she's still leafing through it. Even if she can't solve it now, she's enthralled with this journal.
regardless of the iconography used, in most contexts, a carving or a embellishment of an icon of this nature would be, in essence, an act of claiming or conquering that space, tagging it as your own, is it not?
Certainly is when the students do it.
Hmm.
And with this, I'm gonna say there's a, and so from here you start to hear like conversation just kind of happens. There's a lot more like talking like on the street outside, and then eventually, like three, four, six, maybe 10 people come through. They're all kind of young. They're like in their, like 20s up to like mid 30s, popping in, and it's just like, I've always wanted to try this place out. They're like, yeah, it's just now that we don't really have a place to to go anymore, I guess we can hang out here. Um,
Hmm.
and they start piling in. Um, It's like, yeah, it's so weird that they would do that. It's so weird that they would do that over at like it's the only like there's only one spot in town that people go to hang out when they don't want to get into things, and now they decided that they're just going to shut it down and only they're going to shut the entire thing down. They're only letting women in. From there, the conversation just kind of like peters out as like 5 or 10 people are talking at the same time.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
I have not heard of this. Are you perhaps, by any chance, referring to Jesse's?
He goes, Jesse's. No, where's Jesse's? I'm talking about Alistair's. And that is the end of the episode.
Ah!
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Exciting. I thought you were gonna say Spurbucks. I'm like, what?
No, that's it, man. Something is going on over at Alistair's.
Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. Alistair, god damn it, Alistair.
Fucking Alistair's.
Hmm. All right. So with that, as we closed out here, I'm going to go ahead and do our final shout outs and everything. So go ahead and Sally, tell us who you are, where we can expect to see you, and what you're excited about from this game so far.
Yeah. Okay. So who who I be, what I do, and what I'm excited about. Cool. 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
Hi, my name's Chanel Lees. I use she/they pronouns, and you can find me online pretty much anywhere as at Chanel Lees. If you try to find me on a website and you can't find me, it's usually probably because they don't let you use hyphens in your username on that website. So if you take it out, then you'll be able to find me, because some websites are rude and they don't let me use my actual name as my username, as I have a right to do. You can find me here. Actually, I will be for the next couple of weeks on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll be playing as what's her name? Dr. Keeley on Wednesday evenings here at Nerds with Dice. Uh and my brain is starting to melt. We're playing
Vesson.
Vesson. Thank you. I always say Valis, and that's not it. And then also on Thursday evenings, I'll be here again for the next 2 weeks playing as Sally Hayes. But you gave me a third thing to say. What I was excited about today, or what I'm excited about for next week.
What you're excited about for next week going forward in this game?
Ooh, I'm really excited to see if Sally could figure out the cipher in this journal.
Mhm.
Because Sally is she's very normal. She's very like everything's normal in life. And the most interesting thing in her life right now is Kalki. So
Oh
I'm
sure.
I'm really excited for her to get like face to face with the Eldritch abomination in this
Mm.
story.
All right. Let's go over to you, Adi. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you excited about going forward?
Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK. I go by Fab, he, him. You can find me at Adi MK on Blue Sky and on YouTube. I'm trying to do a little more content. Look forward to it. also working on a few children's books that I hope to either get published through traditional means, or I'm just going to say fuck it and do the whole indie author route. Um, you can find me at Moonlight Creations on Instagram. I do art, I do illustrations, and I am open to work and commissions. You can find me in a bunch of places on the internet. You can find me a lot of the time at Pants's Tables, because that's a wonderful community of people. And Pantsmas is coming up, and there are going to be some fantastic games that are going to be run by some 8 amazing DMs. Sorry, 7, 8, sorry, something. It's a number. And where else? You usually find me in Roller's Joint as well, where we are in a Teens in Space campaign at the moment, where it was a unique pitch. Every player except the GM is high as fuck, and whatever is stated is going to be a rule becomes immediately canon. But it can be used against us as well. And this is dangerous to do with a bunch of impulsive ADHD high people. Dangerous.
All right. And what are you excited about?
I am really so. One of the things is so as Kalki, we're going to start getting into the hows of how fucking rickshaw works, right?
Mhm.
And furthermore, all of this susness with this dude, who even the fucking government is looking through the Pinkertons. Yeah, she's curious, and as a curious cat, she is looking for her satisfaction, so that
Right.
she does not die.
All right. I love that. Well, this is the perfect place to investigate. As for me, I'm Crimson Soul. You can find me on twitch.tv/Crimson Soul _ and Crimson Soul on Blue Sky. I will be here again on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. I might be wrong. Actually, hang on. No, I have the list. I'll be here at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. So for 7 p.m. Central for Apocalypse Keys and a one shot. I will also be here Wednesdays for the Vestin game that Shelly's is a part of. Sorry for my mic. And we'll be here for the next 2 weeks running the rest of this Call of Cthulhu game. And I am so excited for you all to see what I have in store for you. And so with that, like I said, Saturday, December 6th, join us 7 p.m. Central for an Apocalypse Keys one shot. Wednesdays from the 10th and the 7th at 7 p.m. Central, we are continuing our 3-shot for Vessin, the Solstice at Newgrange. Friday, December 12th at 7 p.m. Central, there is a Forge in the Dark hack one shot called Something is in the Dark. And Sunday, December 21st at 11 a.m. Central, Wander Home, a Season's Oath interlude. Season's Oath 10, followed by Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Oops All Ace, an anthology at 2 p.m. Central. We are raising money for Feeding America all month. And so with that, you can find more of Nerds with Dice Adventures on YouTube, where you can watch our saved VODs and stay updated on everything Nerds with Dice by subscribing to Nerds with Dice on Blue Sky. If you have a story you'd like to tell, or if you have a story you wish to tell or a game you wish to showcase, our Creators app is always open and can be found on Blue Sky. Or you can ask for the link in our Discord. And that is it. I've been your GM. These have been your players, and we will see you next week, same time. Bye, everybody.